Was last night a good one for Dalton Knecht falling to the Lakers? Cost him a lot of money, but gets to play with one of the all-time greats in one of the all-time great franchises. I would debate they haven't been run well lately, despite one championship. But what do you think of Dalton Knecht? Let's start with unpacking this. Were you surprised he fell that far? Because most people had him at 6 and he fell 2.
Yeah, he fell to 17th. I was shocked that he fell that low. It seemed, and you saw so many young players. This is weird to say, Dave, but I think the NBA, many NBA franchises now have red flags for players who stayed in college too long. They think, oh, why didn't he come out earlier? And I think it's very uneducated for them to do that, because the truth with Dalton, and they talked about this last night, I didn't even realize this. It was his growth spurt that turned him into a top 10 caliber prospect. He wasn't that tall when he first went to junior college. So they hadn't done their research properly. And I think they lazily thought, well, if he was in college for 5 years, obviously he's not good enough for the NBA, which is one of the laziest takes and shows you how little work so many NBA scouts do.
Yeah. What did you guys think? And everybody's in love with European players. That's part of the factor too. So Dalton Knecht falls. Would you rather be Dalton Knecht? Who picked number 6, for instance? Do you remember? I know that it looked like Charlotte had a lot of interest in him at one point. Let me just throw this out there, and it's brought to you by Rick Terry Jewelry Design. Rick Terry has the fire opals. I mean, they're right over my shoulder with the pendants, the power tee, and also they have the Tennessee necklace. It's phenomenal, and they have those cufflinks. But let me ask you this: if this is your choice, I can play for the Bobcats and make $10 million a year, or I can play for the Lakers and LeBron and I think he's going to make about 4.6, 4.8. I know we're talking about $5 million. It sounds crazy, but you're financially independent. There's part of me that would want to be relevant and be on a television station. My family could see me from time to time.
Well, it's also because I'd rather do the Lakers if you're Dalton Knecht, because you're going to a franchise that will be patient with you and will help develop you. And by the way, you're there right now to create spacing for LeBron. That's what they want. LeBron is going to be the distributor. AD is going to clog the paint. They want spacing. So Austin Reeves is already there. Dalton Knecht will be on the other side. They wanted a guy who could space the floor and create his own shot as a role player. That's exactly what Dalton Knecht is. If he had gone to Charlotte, they would have been, we're building this franchise around you, and we need you to carry us now. And yes, he'll make more money in the short term, but he wouldn't get a long-term deal out of that. He'll be with LA for a few years. LeBron may retire or leave, and all of a sudden he'll develop more, and they'll say, this guy can space the floor, he can score, he can create his own shot. Don't underestimate the idea that the Lakers may say, let's build our franchise around Dalton Knecht in 4 years and give him a big contract.
That seems like a lot.
Dalton Knecht has very few holes in his game offensively.
Okay. All right. Well, the guy I compared him to all year long was who? Do you remember? Jason Tatum.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You did compare him to Jason Tatum. Yeah.
Okay. Where was Jason Tatum picked? I think he was 8th, 9th, 10th. I mean, he wasn't I may be wrong on that. Check me on that. Portions of the program brought to you by Quality Tire.
No, he was 3rd.
Okay, sorry. Quality Tire Pro. The Eberle family has been serving Chattanooga's community since 1957. All major brands of tires, full service automotive, brake alignments, oil changes, and more. All work is covered by nationwide warranty. Cherokee Blvd, or online at qualitytirepros.com, qualitytirepros.com. He'll probably end up a Celtic anyway, since he's so much like Jalen Wright and Jason Tatum, which are kind of the same players. And it seems like back in the
I thought you were going to say he would end up a Celtic since he was white, so I'm glad you didn't go there.
Well, I mean, it does seem like with Porzingis and that they go that direction more often than not. I think that's a coincidence. I hope so. I hope nobody goes, hey, I forgot to ask, that guy that you said is a great spot-up shooter, what race is he? I hope that conversation isn't going on.
Come on, how often do you see a white guy drafted in the NBA and your first thought is, I bet he was drafted because he can shoot?
That, or he's a gym rat. His dad was a
coach.
Which
they said about Dalton Knecht yesterday.
He's a hard worker. He wants it more than most, which is essentially saying that every minority doesn't work hard and that every minority doesn't want it as much, and is the absolute stupidest comment you can make. So we're not going to go in that direction. So let me give you 3 different options. And I'm going to say 10-year starter in the NBA, all pro, or flame out? Because
I'll go
my
10 years.
10 years. Sorry.
Yeah, I would go 10-year starter in the NBA. I would actually go 15-year NBA career overall, 10-year starter.
I would roll with that. Now he's 26.
No, I think he's 23. He's 23.
He just turned either 24 or 26. So yeah, he would be with 15 years, he would be pushing 40.
No, he's 23. He turned 23 in April.
Do the math real quick. I think he turned 24 in April.
He turned 23 in April, Dave.
Okay, somebody was wrong on the
2001.
radio, and I won't call him out. Well, that's not too old. I hope that didn't work against him. That would just be stupid.
It worked against him because people are questioning why he was in college too long. They're not worried about his age. They're worried about it's kind of like, ever since Kevin Garnett came straight out of high school to the NBA in 95, the pyramid has been totally inverted, which is to say that if you stay till your senior season in college, you're a loser and you obviously can't play. That's the way people think. It's dumb. That's why the Spurs built a dynasty, because they did the opposite approach. They only looked at European and college players who had developed at other places to say, hey, these guys look like they're going to be pretty good. And they didn't go on potential. And that's why they had such long-term success. And that's what I think is, because if you look at it, the potential of a 4 or 5 year guy is obviously limited, but the floor is usually pretty high. They're usually almost always going to live up to what was what they were promised, or what the potential they promised. So I think he has a 10-year starting NBA career, a 15-year career overall. And look, as a floor spacing guy, LeBron's going to be the distributor in LA next year. I think Dalton's going to immediately start. They're going to put him and Austin Reeves on opposite wings. By the way, Dalton is better than Austin Reeves. For anybody who's watched Austin Reeves play for the Lakers, Dalton Knecht is a better player. He's going to be coached by JJ Redick, who is a sharpshooter who understands spacing better than anybody.
Well, now wait a second. So let me stop you right there, because I did want to get in that. Is this a good landing spot for LeBron? Because I don't think it is.
You mean Dalton?
Dalton, excuse me. Because I don't know how much time LeBron has left, 2 or 3 years, I would think. The Lakers have been through so many coaches. They fired the one coach who won them a championship, still got rid of him. If I'm Dalton Knecht, this may sound crazy, but I'm already thinking about my exit strategy. Where do I want to go? I want to put together, is it a 3 or 4 year contract, Caleb? I want to put that together, and then I'm ready to bolt, because I don't trust the Lakers management.
Okay, so I don't either. They've been very incompetently run, but Dalton Knecht does actually fill such a void that he could make them immediately a title contender next year. And so, Dave, over 2 years,
I agree with that next year, but 3 years from now, what are the Lakers like? They're on their way down.
Dave, if you're a starter on a team so what? If you're a starter on a team that wins a title, do you know how much that inflates your value once you're a free agent?
Exactly. That's my point. If I'm Dalton Knecht, I want to turn myself into the best player possible. I want to win a championship, and I'm ready to go somewhere else.
Yeah, that's exactly it. This could be even better for him. Think about this. Say he wins a championship over the next 2 years with LeBron on his way out. LeBron, Anthony Davis, Dalton Knecht, Austin Reeves, Dalton Knecht, the role player. LeBron's on his way out. Lakers collapse, but Dalton Knecht then becomes a leading go-to player for the Lakers for a couple of years. They're not good, but then he's a free agent. What do you see then? You see a guy who was a go-to scorer who was also a starter on a championship team. That's what is going to be seen. That is going to make him super valuable in the open market. And a name I'm going to throw out for you, Dave, I know him because you're a Celtics fan, so you know him because he was a backup on the Celtics team that won the title in 08. I know him because he was the Grizzlies' leading scorer when I had season tickets to the Grizzlies one year. Remember James Posey?
Barely, yes.
He was a backup role player on the Celtics, but was their backup wing. Came in, hit a 3 or 2 a game, scored 7 points. Celtics go win a title. New Orleans gives him a long-term deal after that. And he just sits on that NBA money. And I mean, that's what I'm talking about with Dalton Knecht. He could get a generational deal if he were to win a title in LA and maybe be a starter scoring a lot of points over a couple of years. That's what makes this a great situation for him.
He doesn't know who his coach is going to be, though, in 3 or 4 years. I don't think it's going to be JJ Redick. I mean, he's never coached before. I think that was a really questionable hire when they couldn't get Hurley out of UConn.
If Dan Hurley had been coaching, I would have been even more sold on them. Wouldn't you? If Dan Hurley had gone to LA?
I would be completely sold on them.